thank our sponsor, Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, along with being free. What makes it so nice to use is there's a wide creation or computer. For example, right now I'm recording, publishing, and editing all of my episodes right from my iPhone 8. With Anchor, Cage Baseball would not ask for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, so they really help the little guy such as Cage Free Baseball. If you are interested, make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you, Anchor, and let's get straight to the episode. Our second episode on Cage Free Baseball. I'm Luke.
I'm Anthony.
And, how are you doing, Anthony?
I'm still doing great. How are you?
Good. Nice day.
Right.
So, alright. Well, coronavirus is still not a good thing. And
still very much a bad thing right now.
It must mean it's still D-Day, or like Zombie Day. I don't know what I'm saying. But, yeah. Anyways, that also means that MLB is currently talking May.
Mm-hmm.
That's what? That's March, April, May.
Yeah.
It's 2 months.
So that's 2 months from now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that kind of weeks, in my opinion, was just, to say, to get plenty of time to figure everything out.
Yeah. I don't know. In December.
Right.
Which means there's going to be snow on the fields.
Right.
And if they do a full season where they play like the double.
So, since they were discussing moving it back to May, they were discussing something kind of like what they do with the Super Bowl, where the World Series would be played in Miami.
So if we stay in May and have a full 162 game season and a postseason, it would be in Miami. That'd be sweet.
Most likely.
That'd be really cool.
So much say Miami there.
Finally get Miami some money.
I don't really think the MLB wants to do that. So I'm thinking, and we will talk about this soon, but I'm thinking it's going to be what's happening.
Yeah, I think a shortened season would be the alternative. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's a shortened season, do you think it'll be shortened to playoffs in October or playoffs in November?
Schedules remain the same.
Oh, that's good. If
I were to guess.
Thanks, coronavirus.
It's fucking taking away half our baseball.
Literally. It's just unsafe right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's crazy that the season, all sports are just getting moved like this, So,
yeah, I mean... Yeah. It's a lot of confusion and lack of not knowing better right now.
Yeah. Well, this brings us to our next point. So this has occurred multiple times in history.
Right.
And really they've only occurred in wars.
Well,
in
yeah,
1985.
85 had the two-day strike. 81 had that strike.
Yep.
I know they didn't really cancel season. After about a year, they started doing that.
World War I and World War II were pretty familiar or similar in what they did is just shorten the season.
Right. And the 1970 season
Mm-hmm.
but that was because of the strike.
Yeah. So
Then,
for shortened seasons, they've either been because of a strike or a war
right,
around a women's
right.
league. But I was thinking, why not do that? But then I'm thinking, I'm like, well, coronavirus it's still a disease. You know, it doesn't just affect men or whatever the situation is.
Right.
So I bet it's without any like alternative.
Mm-hmm.
But unless if
Which
they
I
like,
don't think they can really do right now.
no.
But I believe the best actions for the MP right now, logistical problems as far as having playoffs potentially somewhere other than teams' home stadiums.
Yeah.
And then I think also, and I touched on this last episode, but it's lack of scheduling conflicts with other sports.
Yeah.
So it'd be worse if, your rating would go very much down if you were also.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the best thing they'll have to do, because you're right, like they don't really have to worry about their stadiums unless if you're Oakland, you know.
Right.
But wait,
Raiders. So yes, Raiders are already in Las Vegas.
okay.
They'll go into effect this next season. And then Oakland is trying to get a
Yeah, they're
new
gonna.
stadium.
Yeah,
One
for
day.
now. Well, so we still have that. Well, I bet personally, I think they just stick to a shortened season. I think
Mhm.
what's going to be interesting though is you see how these standings will play out. Are they going to minimize like it down to a 2-game series? Because I don't think they're going to cut teams out or like rivalries out. I bet they just shorten the games in the series.
I think what they might do is just scrap those and just go from there.
Well, I mean
'Cause
they could.
I don't really understand how they'd be able to. Because the problem with shortening the series, well, now we have to travel. So you'd probably actually be taking away more games doing that because you got to throw in extra travel days. Extra, rest days and stuff like that.
Shorten it to 2 games.
Mm.
I don't.
I mean,
I think the travel
but
will
how
be a
would
lot more stressful.
Yeah.
But I don't think it so much affect a travel day schedule.
I don't know.
Thing that these teams have divisions, and most of their games come from a division. So if you're cutting out division games, then there's an argument of standings. So
I don't think the month or however long it just takes.
Just scratch that out. I don't know. I think that
would just be the easiest thing.
Yeah, I mean that would be the easiest, but there's division games in that month.
And I guess if it does affect how different games are working, then that's something different. But
I don't know.
Put yourself schedule those games back where they need to be.
Yeah, I don't know because it really just depends on how they want to do the playoff schedule. In my opinion, Miami would be a good spot.
I mean,
and that's what I think. I think it all bases on how you want to play your playoff schedule. Because if you're going to stick to your regular playoff schedule in October,
right.
that's issues.
And I truly believe this is what they want. I think they just, at this point, just want to get a season started in a timely manner in which they can just stick to the
worst case scenario. If they get back to games and they say fans still can't come,
which
I think that'll affect. It's already affecting money.
Yeah,
but I think if they want to get the most games fitted and try not to worry about the fan aspect about it, which is big, but I think probably just cut fans out of the games.
Probably not. I don't do that simply because, how much money would be lost from that.
Yeah. Unless you're Cincinnati, you're
Well,
already at an advantage.
Some of those Broncos I don't have those. But
Trevor Bauer, he tweeted wanting to have a Sandlot game with other pros. Still scheduling it.
well, I believe I have.
Wow.
Yeah, which
Just happened?
yeah. So he it was a charity game, so all the money he said was going to go to staff hiatus. Really, really good thing for people and we're seeing this in other sports, but it's really good to see these people behind them because I feel like staff of teams are some of the most underappreciated people in sports. They do a lot. They do a lot for people that.
Yeah, we don't even see it.
Yeah.
Good for Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, very good thing to do.
I think if he continues to have more Sandlot games, which I don't know, he should have charitable funds, but also have them aired.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just looking here. I think they put it on YouTube. So I mean, yeah, you have there to see players giving back to the community and things like that.
Giving back to the people that back them up, Yeah, that's good for them. I think they're losing that time.
Right.
But like you said, he's like, well, look at what the staff has done for us.
Yeah.
I don't even think they think about every day.
No.
I'm not saying they don't over here, Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, no. They're very underappreciated people. And I think it really shows what sports are all about when we see these athletes coming out here and this is more than just a sport, more than just a game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I also saw something. If baseball sticks in May, what would out of the whole game, would you miss the home runs, pitcher duels, all of it? What would you miss?
Probably pitcher duels. I love a good pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm there. I mean, to see two people go mano-a-mano, and really go at each other, I think that's one of the best parts of the game.
I like watching them, but I love seeing a low-scoring game where you have two aces battling it out, going deep, 7 innings, and then that's so fun. It's just seeing so I think that's really fun to watch. I personally love that a lot.
Yeah, and that is probably my favorite part about baseball. That it's a team sport with an individual pitcher versus one batter, but one batter can't win a game by himself, and one pitcher can't win it by himself. And I think it's just a very good combination of both individual tasks.
Yeah, I love breaking baseball down like that.
Yeah.
It is a team sport, but
there's so many great individual moments within the team.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I just think it's so fun to see that personal fame out of it,
Yeah.
Not saying it's a team thing, but it's just.
And I think that's part of the problem with baseball, right? Initiate these little things. They're trying to pull in the people who, want faster games, more high scoring. Those all have time.
Well, it's a marketing strategy.
It truly is meant to be like it has been for these last 100 years.
I will say there were statistics shown That the average game went from
I mean,
8 to
I saw
16
this
minutes.
statistic the other day. A baseball game is actually shorter than the average NFL game, and they had
Is it
yeah, and
really?
they had this little statistic called time act, such as like
Yeah.
home runs or touchdowns, and I believe NFL had 8, and MLB had 11.
Okay.
So I mean, it's still extra minutes for stuff happening.
It's like just superstition to players. You got,
Mhm.
walk-up songs, and
Right.
they have a specific way of getting in the box. But I like that. That's baseball.
Mhm.
And I think if you can't, granted, it does get long and I don't score innings or whatever, but then I turn it off for a couple innings and I go back
I
to
mean,
the final
baseball's meant to
8
be
9,
for everyone. So I mean, you could be like you, where you only watch, a couple innings, whatever, or you could be like me, gone. And then I mean, it's for the people who don't have time for that too. I mean, there's plenty of places where you can go get baseball highlights from the day. I mean,
You just it's like a Nickelodeon episode,
exactly.
like SpongeBob or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
You don't need to watch the whole 4 seasons. You just watch an
right.
episode.
There's no plot. There's no need to
Yeah, there's no plot
there's
to
no
it.
specific way of happening. I mean, that's about all
Yeah,
sports.
for sure.
Pretty much all sports
Yeah.
can be consumed different ways, enjoyed by everybody.
Yeah. It is a beautiful game. Well, and this week's division we're focusing on is the National League East. And if you're not if you haven't watched our last episode, how we're doing this is we're going through each division.
Each league.
Last week, now we're doing NL East, then we'll do AL Central, NL. Anyways, all the way down, and then we will do a wrap up of our division and do a seeding for
All right, so
seeds.
you can start first this time. So for the
Go
NL
ahead.
East, my last place team is going to be the Miami Marlins. Not really surprised.
Shocker.
Actually, gonna have them lose 6 this year is my projection. I mean, they did lose. I talked about this last time, but Trevor Richards was their ace last year. He's now in Tampa. So I mean, nothing really to improve. Next, I have the Mets in second to last, 4th place. Complete joke of organization. So worst man at 76 wins this season. Again, this was supposed to be their year. They hired Carlos Beltran. Their starting turns around, and oh no, he's not. Then in 3rd place, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. Never really liked this team. I think they're extremely overrated. They have 84 wins, and they didn't really do too much, in my opinion, to improve this offseason. So then next, we have the Washington Nationals. I have them as second place wildcard team, but I still have them at 93 wins, 69 losses. This team, in my opinion, hasn't gone any better and hasn't gone any worse. Like, yeah, they are known, but patient is still very good. 4 legitimate starters, and then that outfield's pretty good as well, especially with Victor Robles coming up, and the Atlanta Braves with 103 wins. I think this is a really good team. Like, the only real knock I have on them is their bullpen's ability to perform, and I think they can make a legitimate shot at a World Series this year. I don't think they will, but I think they have that potential.
Deep. It's funny, we almost have identical standings. I have Miami at 5, of course. Literally did nothing all season, and that they don't have any 8
Okay.
wins and 106 losses.
Alrighty.
I don't know. And then for my number 4 spot, I also put the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think
So,
they have some good
they have
stars.
Pete Alonso and Jeff
Yeah.
McNeil, and those are some good building blocks. But
Syndergaard.
like I said, as far as management coaching goes, just kind of a joke right now.
The team, but they've had good leaders for years now, and there's been no improvement. And I don't blame the players. I blame the manager on that one too.
I don't feel good about those guys this year.
No, I don't. There was no
Improvement, yeah.
movement, no improvement this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, but I don't know. I just don't see more approval. Hot take.
I mean,
right there.
I just don't think they did anything to build on their 500 season from last year.
No, I just think it's another building block.
Starting block years are you going to have till you actually do something?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we get surprised. Number 2, put the Nationals. I give them 94 and Rendon. Maybe a little. Rendon was the leader last year.
And
he got hot. He controlled his stuff.
He was a MVP candidate, but I agree with you. I don't think it'll like them that much.
They have a really good bullpen.
I was looking
really
at the roster, they have enough guys they can platoon there at third, You can put, I saw they signed Starlin Castro, so I mean, you could put him as second.
Yeah, I think Kendrick would be a great fit for third base. But they still have the same
Pretty
team
much.
as last year. Still the same rep.
Right.
Little left, right? More than a
Luxury,
in my opinion. So, and then at number 1, I put the Braves, also with 103 wins and 61 losses. This hot, they're locked down, but I think they learn from their mistakes. I bet they go deep this year. I don't think they make World Series, but I bet they make NLCS.
Yeah, I like this team. I like their chances. I feel like they have a shot.
Own kind of thing. Yeah. That's what I like to watch. Like Dansby Swanson, Ronald Acuna, they have their own style of the game. Like they play how they want to play. It's fun to but they still put their own ingredient to their cake, if you will. So, but I don't know. I think Braves have a good year this year, in my opinion. I bet they really dominate.
I agree on that.
But that's good. So, all right, this episode was a little shorter, but I thought it went really well.
Another good episode in the book.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah. And this is Cage Free Baseball.